Right now, as you're watching this, seniors all over the world are combining vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium in ways that trigger internal reactions far more dangerous than most people ever realize. When these three are taken together incorrectly, the body can enter a biochemical storm. Your heart becomes overstimulated, your brain receives electrical signals it cannot regulate, and your blood chemistry shifts so sharply that your organs must fight to keep up. As a certified doctor with decades of clinical experience, I've seen this unfold in real patients. People who believed they were doing something healthy and ended up with heart palpitations, nerve agitation, breathlessness, nausea, dizziness, sudden spikes in blood pressure, and kidney strain, all because these supplements were taken in the wrong timing, wrong combination, or wrong form. Studies now show that when D3, K2, and magnesium are misused, they can cause dangerous calcium shifts, overstimulate nerve pathways, and force the kidneys and cardiovascular system into a level of stress older organs simply cannot handle. And the most shocking part, nearly 6 out of 10 seniors are already taking them this way without knowing it. That's why in this video, we will reveal the 6 dangerous effects that happen when seniors take D3, K2, and magnesium the wrong way. And stick around because number 3 can stress your organs in a way most doctors never mention publicly. All scientific references for today's breakdown are listed in the description if you'd like to explore them yourself. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you, and which of these supplements are you currently taking? D3, K2, or magnesium? Tell me in the comments below. Today we're responding to every single comment personally so we can guide you the right way. Now, without any further delay, let's begin with number 6, and this first effect is something almost every senior triggers without realizing how dangerous it actually is. Number 6. Nerve dysfunction and dangerous muscle cramping from magnesium imbalance. Most people think of magnesium as a simple relaxation mineral, something that helps you sleep better and keeps muscle cramps at bay. What they don't realize is that magnesium is the master controller of electrical signaling throughout your entire nervous system. Every nerve impulse that travels through your body, every message from your brain to your muscles, every heartbeat signal that keeps you alive depends on precise magnesium levels to function correctly. When you take magnesium incorrectly, you don't just miss out on benefits. You can actually create dangerous imbalances that disrupt this delicate electrical system. Here's what happens inside your body. Magnesium works in constant partnership with calcium. Calcium causes muscles to contract, and magnesium causes them to relax. These two minerals act like a perfectly choreographed dance, with each one balancing the other. When you take high doses of vitamin D3, you dramatically increase calcium absorption from your food. If you're not simultaneously maintaining adequate magnesium levels, you create an imbalance where calcium dominates and magnesium becomes depleted. This depletion happens because your body uses up magnesium trying to process and manage all that extra calcium flooding into your system. A study published in the Journal of the American Osteopathic Association found that vitamin D supplementation cannot be properly metabolized without sufficient magnesium, and that taking D3 actually depletes magnesium stores over time. The effects of this imbalance on your nervous system are profoundly uncomfortable and potentially dangerous. You might experience persistent muscle twitching that won't stop no matter how much you stretch. Cramping becomes more frequent and more severe, sometimes waking you from sleep with excruciating Charlie horses. Your eyelids might develop an annoying twitch that lasts for days. But beyond these surface symptoms, the nerve dysfunction goes deeper. Some people develop numbness and tingling in their extremities as nerve signaling becomes erratic. Others experience restless leg syndrome that makes relaxation impossible. In severe cases, the heart muscle itself, which depends on perfect calcium-magnesium balance, can develop irregular rhythms. The fix requires understanding that these 3 supplements must be taken as a coordinated system, not as isolated pills you swallow whenever convenient. Your magnesium intake needs to increase proportionally when you're taking vitamin D3, and you need to choose a well-absorbed form that actually reaches your cells rather than passing straight through your digestive tract. This nervous system disruption is just the beginning of the damage. Number 5. Gut lining erosion and chronic digestive damage from wrong magnesium forms. Your digestive system is far more than just a processing tube for food. It's a sophisticated organ system lined with delicate tissue that absorbs nutrients, houses 70% of your immune system, and contains a microbiome of trillions of bacteria essential for your overall health. When you take the wrong form of magnesium day after day, you're not just wasting your money on supplements that don't absorb. You're actively damaging this critical system in ways that compound over time. Magnesium oxide is the most commonly purchased form because it's cheap and contains a high percentage of elemental magnesium per pill. What the labels don't tell you is that this form absorbs at only about 4% efficiency. The remaining 96% stays in your intestinal tract, where it exerts powerful osmotic effects, drawing water into your bowels and triggering loose stools or outright diarrhea. Occasional use for constipation relief is one thing, but seniors who take magnesium oxide daily for months or years are subjecting their gut lining to constant irritation. Research published in the European Journal of Gastroenterology found that chronic use of poorly absorbed magnesium compounds creates low-grade inflammation in the intestinal walls. This inflammation damages the tight junctions between intestinal cells, the microscopic seals that control what passes from your gut into your bloodstream. When these tight junctions become compromised, a condition develops that scientists call increased intestinal permeability, commonly known as leaky gut. Particles that should stay inside your digestive tract begin escaping into your bloodstream, triggering immune responses and systemic inflammation throughout your body. This inflammation has been linked to everything from joint pain to brain fog to autoimmune conditions. Additionally, the constant laxative effect disrupts your natural bowel function. Your colon becomes dependent on the osmotic effect to produce bowel movements, and over time, normal motility decreases. Some seniors find themselves unable to have regular bowel movements without the very supplement that caused the dependency in the first place. The solution lies in switching to properly absorbed forms like magnesium glycinate, magnesium taurate, or magnesium malate. These forms cross into your bloodstream efficiently, deliver magnesium to your cells where it's needed, and leave your gut lining completely undisturbed. But gut damage isn't the only internal erosion happening. Number 4. Bone density loss from the vitamin D paradox most doctors miss. This effect sounds completely backwards when you first hear it. Vitamin D3 is supposed to strengthen bones, right? That's what every health article tells you. That's why your doctor recommended it. That's the whole reason you started taking it in the first place. So how could supplementing with vitamin D3 actually cause your bones to become weaker? The answer lies in a biological paradox that most healthcare providers never explain, and it's destroying the skeletal health of millions of seniors who think they're doing everything right. Vitamin D3 dramatically increases how much calcium your body absorbs from food. This is its primary function, and it performs this job extremely well. The problem emerges when that increased calcium has nowhere to go. You see, vitamin D3 is like a calcium delivery truck that brings enormous loads of calcium into your body. But D3 has no ability whatsoever to direct where that calcium ends up. It simply dumps the calcium into your bloodstream and its job is done. Without adequate vitamin K2 to activate the proteins that guide calcium into bones, and without sufficient magnesium to help incorporate calcium into bone matrix, that calcium just floats around looking for somewhere to land. Your body, sensing all this free calcium in the blood, often makes a devastating decision. It concludes that calcium levels are adequate and actually reduces the signaling that normally drives calcium into bone tissue. Research published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research documented this paradox in clinical settings. Participants who took high-dose vitamin D3 without companion nutrients showed no improvement in bone density, and some actually showed decreased density over time. The calcium they were absorbing wasn't reaching their bones. Instead, it was depositing in soft tissues while their skeletons continued to weaken. Meanwhile, participants who took vitamin D3 with appropriate levels of K2 and magnesium showed significant improvements in bone mineral density. Their bones were actually incorporating the calcium being absorbed. The lesson here is crucial. Taking vitamin D3 alone, especially in higher doses, can create a situation where you're absorbing plenty of calcium, but your bones see none of it. You end up with the worst of both worlds: soft tissue calcification combined with continued bone loss. Every single dose of D3 needs to be accompanied by K2 to direct calcium properly and magnesium to help build the bone matrix that holds everything together. The paradox with bones, however, leads to something far more immediately dangerous. Number 3. Kidney stone formation and permanent kidney damage from calcium overload. Your kidneys are miraculous organs, filtering approximately 50 gallons of blood every single day, removing waste products, balancing electrolytes, and maintaining the fluid equilibrium that keeps you alive. These fist-sized organs work tirelessly without complaint, asking almost nothing in return. But when you flood your body with excess calcium through improper vitamin D3 supplementation, you're essentially forcing your kidneys to process a burden they were never designed to handle. The consequences range from extremely painful to permanently life-altering. When vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption beyond what your body can use, that excess calcium must be eliminated somehow. The primary exit route is through your kidneys, which filter the excess calcium into your urine for excretion. Under normal circumstances, this system works fine. But when calcium levels in the urine become chronically elevated, a condition called hypercalciuria develops. This excess calcium combines with oxalate and other compounds in your urine to form crystals. These crystals gradually accumulate into larger and larger formations until you have full-blown kidney stones. Anyone who has ever passed a kidney stone will tell you it ranks among the most excruciating experiences possible, often compared to childbirth in intensity. But the pain, as horrible as it is, isn't even the worst part. Repeated stone formation causes physical damage to the delicate tissue inside your kidneys. Each stone that forms and passes leaves behind microscopic scarring. Each episode of obstruction causes backup pressure that damages nephrons, the tiny filtering units inside your kidneys. A case study published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal documented a 64-year-old man who took vitamin D3 supplements at 50,000 international units per day for nearly 3 years without monitoring his blood levels. He developed severe hypercalcemia, his kidneys became calcified, and he required dialysis. His kidney function never fully recovered. He went from healthy to permanently damaged because he believed more vitamin D meant more benefit. The tragedy is that this was entirely preventable with simple blood tests every 3 to 6 months to monitor both vitamin D levels and calcium levels. Your kidneys cannot tell you they're struggling until serious damage has already occurred. Blood tests are the only early warning system, and skipping them while taking vitamin D3 is gambling with organs you cannot live without. Kidney damage is devastating, but there's an organ even more immediately vital at risk. Number 2. Heart rhythm disruptions and cardiac stress from electrolyte chaos. Your heart beats approximately 100,000 times every single day, and each of those beats depends on a precise electrical signal that travels through your cardiac muscle in a perfectly timed sequence. This electrical system runs on electrolytes, primarily calcium, magnesium, and potassium, that must remain in exact balance for your heart to rhythm correctly. When you take D3, K2, and magnesium improperly, you create electrolyte chaos that directly interferes with the electrical signals controlling your most vital organ. The relationship between calcium and magnesium in heart function is extraordinarily delicate. Calcium triggers the contraction phase of each heartbeat, causing the heart muscle to squeeze and pump blood. Magnesium triggers the relaxation phase, allowing the heart to refill with blood before the next contraction. When excess vitamin D3 drives calcium levels too high while magnesium becomes depleted, your heart muscle receives too much contraction signal and not enough relaxation signal. The result is cardiac muscle that becomes hyperexcitable, prone to extra beats, skipped beats, and potentially dangerous arrhythmias. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants with low magnesium levels had significantly higher rates of atrial fibrillation, a common arrhythmia that dramatically increases stroke risk. But the heart stress goes beyond just rhythm problems. When calcium accumulates in cardiac tissue itself, the heart muscle becomes stiffer and less able to pump efficiently. This early calcification of heart tissue shows up on imaging studies long before any symptoms appear. Research using cardiac CT scans has shown that people with calcium-magnesium imbalances display measurable calcium deposits in their heart muscle tissue that weren't present in balanced individuals. Over time, this stiffening contributes to diastolic dysfunction, where the heart cannot relax properly to fill with blood. Seniors experiencing unexplained palpitations, fluttering sensations in the chest, or episodes where their heart seems to pound or race should seriously evaluate their supplement regimen. The fix requires maintaining magnesium levels that match your vitamin D intake and regularly monitoring calcium levels through blood tests. Your heart has no backup. There's no dialysis machine for cardiac function. Protecting this organ from supplement-induced electrolyte chaos is absolutely non-negotiable. And now we arrive at the most dangerous effect of all. Number 1. Arterial calcification that turns your blood vessels into rigid pipes. Everything I've shared with you today has been building to this moment because this single effect is responsible for more cardiovascular deaths than almost any other factor, and it's being caused directly by the way most seniors take their vitamin D3. Arterial calcification is exactly what it sounds like. Calcium deposits accumulate in the walls of your arteries, gradually transforming flexible, elastic blood vessels into stiff, rigid tubes that cannot properly regulate blood pressure or blood flow. This process happens silently over years and decades, and by the time symptoms appear, the damage is often severe and irreversible. Your arteries are supposed to be dynamic, living tissue. With each heartbeat, they expand slightly to accommodate the surge of blood, then contract to maintain pressure and keep blood flowing smoothly. This elasticity is crucial for cardiovascular health. When calcium deposits infiltrate the arterial walls, that elasticity disappears. The vessels become like old, corroded pipes, unable to flex or adapt. Blood pressure rises because the stiff vessels cannot absorb the force of each heartbeat. The heart has to work harder to pump blood through these rigid channels, leading to cardiac enlargement and eventually heart failure. The calcified areas become sites where plaques form more easily, further narrowing the vessels and setting the stage for complete blockages that cause heart attacks and strokes. A massive study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology followed over 25,000 participants and found that coronary artery calcium scores were the single strongest predictor of cardiovascular events, more powerful than cholesterol levels, blood pressure, smoking status, or any other traditional risk factor. Participants with the highest calcium scores had more than 10 times the risk of heart attack compared to those with zero calcification. And here's the critical connection to your supplements. Vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption dramatically, but it provides absolutely no direction for where that calcium should go. Without vitamin K2 to activate matrix GLA protein, the body's natural defense against soft tissue calcification, that absorbed calcium accumulates wherever it lands, and arterial walls are a primary destination. Vitamin K2 is the missing piece that most supplement regimens completely ignore. The MK7 form of K2 actively removes calcium from arterial walls and redirects it to bones and teeth where it belongs. A study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high K2 intake reduced cardiovascular disease risk by 41%, specifically through its anti-calcification effects. Every single day you take vitamin D3 without K2, you're potentially adding more calcium to your artery walls. The solution is absolute and non-negotiable. Vitamin D3 and K2 must be taken together always. Most experts recommend 100 micrograms of K2-MK7 for every 4 to 5,000 international units of D3. Many combination supplements now provide both in appropriate ratios. This single change could be the most important cardiovascular protection decision you ever make. These 6 effects represent the hidden dangers lurking in supplement routines that seem perfectly healthy on the surface. Nerve dysfunction, digestive damage, bone loss paradox, kidney destruction, heart rhythm chaos, and arterial calcification are all preventable. They're all reversible in early stages, and they all come down to understanding that these 3 supplements form an interconnected system that must be taken correctly together. Get it right, and you unlock incredible benefits for your health and longevity. Get it wrong, and you slowly damage the very organs you're trying to protect. If this information opened your eyes to something you didn't know, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you catch every new video designed to protect your health. Share this with someone you love who takes these supplements. You might just save their life. Thanks for watching.